said you allowed Satan to fill your heart and lie to the Holy Ghost. We can lie to each other and get away with it, but you can't lie to the Holy Ghost and get away with it. Let me keep moving on here. Whilst it remained, was it not your own? And after it was sold, was it not in your own power? Why have you conceived this thing in your heart? You have not lied unto men, but unto God. See, when you conceive some stuff in your heart, my God, we've got to be careful. We have to guard our hearts. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost, and great fear came on all them that heard these things. Now, this is what I got in this verse. This was after Jesus came. So this tells me that can still happen today. See, people think they can't just fall down dead because of the grace of God. But this happened after Jesus died and rose. So this can happen again. Don't get it twisted. You can drop dead in your sin. Okay? I'm just letting you guys know. See, we think we can get away with stuff. But that's what revealed. Verse 5. And Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and gave up the ghost. And great fear came on all them that heard these things. You know, I think we're going to see things like this again. Because people think they can play with sin and fool God. But we're going to see some things that we have not seen before or in a long time. All right, moving on right quick because I have to get to work. And the young men arose, wound him up, and carried him out and buried him. Now check this out. So the 7th verse says it was about the space of 3 hours after when his wife, not knowing what was done, came in. Now this caught my attention as well. Because normally if your spouse died, you're going to get a phone call. But it was 3 hours and this lady had no idea that her husband was dead. So when she came in, Peter answered unto her, tell me whether you sold the land for so much. And she said, yes, for so much. So see, she had an opportunity, another opportunity to tell the truth. But she chose to lie. She chose to stay in her sin. 8th verse, and Peter said, and the 9th verse, Peter said unto her, how is it that you have agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord? Agreed together to tempt the Spirit of the Lord. Behold, the feet of them which have buried your husband are at the door, and they shall carry you out. Straightway, then she fell down straightway at his feet and yielded up the ghost. So the same men that carried her husband out came in. They found her dead, carrying her forth and buried her by her husband. All right, so the other thing I wanted to point out in this chapter, you guys take the time, go ahead and read this chapter 5 for yourself. I'm telling you, so much meat in there. But I wanted to also share with you all in the 14th verse, believers were the more added to the Lord, multitudes both of men and women, insomuch that they brought forth the sick into the streets and laid them on beds and couches, that at the least the shadow of Peter passing by might overshadow some of them. I wanted to bring out this verse because the same power that is in Peter is in us. Just his shadow. They said at least the shadow of Peter would overshadow some of them. I'm telling y'all, we have the goods, but we're not using it. And the 16th verse, there came also a multitude out of the cities around about Jerusalem, bringing sick folks and them which were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed, every one of them. I wanted to really bring this out because at times like this with the pandemic, when they say they don't have enough room in the hospitals, that's when the believers need to step in. Your shadow or just the gift of healing. The gift of healing is still in the church. We have the goods where people will come everywhere and get their healing. It says every one of them were healed. So I'm going to leave it at that. Take the time, study that book. It's so much meat in here. We are missing out on what God has given us to do It's time to get to work. Have a great Tuesday. Love you guys.